Well, as National Aboriginal and Islanders Day observance, should I say, Committee Week, known as NAIDOC, comes to an end. News Corp Australia has launched its fifth Reconciliation Action Plan, and in doing so, the company has shone a spotlight on First Nations artists and illustrator Jessica Tedim. Now, she was commissioned to create cover art for that action plan. And proud Gamilaroi woman Jess Tedim from Walgett in New South Wales joins me live now on Sky News. Jess, thank you so much for joining us. Your art is incredible. That blue piece, please tell me about it, the inspiration behind it too.
Thanks, Julia. So this particular piece I was commissioned to do for News Corp's fifth iteration of their Reconciliation Action Plan. It was really inspired by this element of water, and you can kind of see in a lot of the blue as shown here that for me it's about storytelling, and what News Corp is all about is exactly that. It's storytelling, and for us as Aboriginal people, this is how our culture and our stories and our history has survived for countless generations. And I think even in the title itself, truth and trust, for me, reconciliation, it really boils down to truth telling. And I really think that mainstream media in Australia really does have a huge part to play in that truth telling piece. And there's a massive responsibility for people to really uplift the voices of First Nations people. And this is something that I really wanted to capture in that artwork.
That's incredibly well put, and it was through your work with the Australian Indigenous Education Foundation, which partners with News Corp, that you were commissioned to create that artwork. How do you go about that when you're given such a big task? I mean, what's the process?
Yeah, so I was originally contacted by News Corp through the Australian Indigenous Education Foundation. And for any artwork, really, any sort of commission, it's always about figuring out what do you truly want to represent and what does this organisation stand for. And that's really where that element of storytelling came into play. And for me, like I said, when it comes to storytelling, I really want to capture stories of home as well. And so I grew up in a little country town in northwest New South Wales called Walgett. So something about Walgett is it really reminds me of the two rivers, and Walgett itself means the junction of the Namoy and the Barwon rivers. And this is where storytelling has happened for me. It's where I learnt stories of my own culture. And the way that I work in my process is I actually started with two digital pieces, and one was completely different to this, but we landed on this piece, Truth and Trust. And yeah, I'm really happy with the end product of it. And I actually projected my digital piece onto the canvas, and then I sort of trace around it in chalk, and then just get straight into painting. And yeah, I think it's a really beautiful piece, and it's probably one of my favorites. And I know artists say that all the time about their work. Their latest thing is their favorite, but yeah, I really do enjoy this piece, and I loved creating it.
It's gorgeous, and it has a really calming effect, but it's also so vibrant. It really catches the eye. You're an incredible artist, but you do so much professionally. I mean, tell us about all of that work, marketing, financial services. You've got your First Nations advocacy work too. I mean, how do you find all of the time to do this?
That's the thing about being a freelancer. You kind of just have to make it happen. So I do also work part-time for a business called the Indigenous Australian Lived Experience Centre, so AIEF. It's actually First Nation suicide prevention. And the reason that I work in that industry for mental health with mob is it's something that's really close to my heart. And, you know, even linking back to being an artist, art is an incredibly healing tool. And it's something that I will always enjoy doing. And that's sort of what led me to study marketing as well, because it's, you know, quite a creative industry to work in. But I've also worked in education as well. So I used to be a liaison officer for a local high school down in Brisbane. But I currently work from home, but I am based on the Sunshine Coast, so Gubbi Gubbi country.
You're a very impressive woman, Jessica Tedim. Really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Julia.